So as a software company, we're very technically focused and technically oriented, and had struggled for years to identify ways in which we can engage with prospective new customers. We tried events, we tried pay-per-click adverts, we tried advertising, we tried a whole range of things that were traditional, if you like, routes to getting to your market, and really not achieving much success with any of them. We called it the marketing problem at the time. We saw the lack or the absence of incoming leads as a key obstacle to growth, and it was the absence of incoming leads that we set out to identify how to solve that problem. Emma was able to, with very little input, to go off, research the various systems, software packages and things that were out there, and put in place the working solution that we now have and that is now delivering relentlessly for us day in, day out in terms of generated leads. Hubspot isn't just CRM, it's a whole culture, philosophy indeed, and a mechanism of communicating with prospective customers on a one-to-many basis, so that you can engage with them automatically and systematically and develop buyers through the Hubspot engine. And this is the new capability that Emma brought into the business. We hadn't really been able to do that before. We were using tools like MailChimp and Act and broadcasting emails periodically, but the power of the Hubspot software, Emma was able to really utilise it to great effect for us. Before we were able to prove anything worked, before we were able to generate any leads, we had to make a lot of decisions, or rather Emma had to make a lot of decisions about the approach and the tools and you know, the resources that were going to be necessary. And at that point it was a bit of an unknown for everybody else, and part of the problem and part of the challenge then is a cultural change in the business, where the rest of the business then needs to align with what's going on in the sales and marketing space. Even I myself, although I'm a big believer in content-driven marketing, because it wasn't proven to me and I didn't know how these various tools and systems would interrelate, you know, I had a healthy degree of skepticism. One of the key moments in the whole process was a workshop that Emma organised, where myself and several of the team got together, and we started to really gain an understanding of the inbound approach and the marketing power of answering questions that prospective customers might be asking. And if I were to kind of simplify this, it would be to say, there are thousands of potential customers out there Googling things day in, day out. Wouldn't it be fantastic if we were on the receiving end of that Google search result? And answering questions that people ask gave us that capability, so it was driving organic growth in the number of people that were engaging in our website. At the beginning of the workshop, we didn't really have a clue what was going on. At the end of the workshop, everybody went away thinking, I think that's it. So the lead generation then started to happen. By the end of a year, the growth in the number of leads, well, the best comparison I can give is that we were dealing with around 10 leads a quarter before we started all this, you know, 40 per annum, and we're now dealing with 10 leads a day, and we now have a graph that goes like this, and long may it continue. We've grown a body of content that is now a long-term resource that's attracting ever more and more leads, and they're engaging with our website before they engage with our sales team. So I would work again with Emma in an absolute heartbeat, and I'm delighted that we're continuing to work together. But this ability of Emma and in fact now the team that Emma's working with to you know, help a company go from zero to hero, if you like, is something that can be reused time and time again. Doing what she has done for Triasta has put us in a wonderful position for future growth, and I'm truly delighted that Emma's now going to be able to use that talent and ability and energy and go off and produce that outcome for other businesses. Yeah, so in terms of what I would say to anybody who's considering working with Emma, you've partnered with somebody who can deliver, you know, in my experience, way beyond the ability of most other people. But do have realistic expectations of timescales, and be aware that, you know, the world won't change because your business has changed. What has to happen is your business needs to align with the natural timescales over which people engage with you. And the content-driven marketing approach is very, very powerful, but it does need time to cement. And it's not going to happen within 12 months. It needs to be a solid long-term engagement and a long-term cultural change in your business.